Maybe not. I don't know. Because we kind of talked about it. I don't know how many episodes ago now. It could have been 100 at this point. Where I know, I think Jerrell had mentioned.
Can you believe that? You said about 100.
Girl, it could have been.
I love how that sounds.
Right?
I love how that sounds.
Was that a little stunt?
You know, about 100 episodes ago now.
It could have. Episode 123, bitch.
Come on now.
Right?
Easiest 1, 2, 3.
Is that a prime number? I think that's a prime number. Yep.
Might be
It's a prime number.
123.
You can't divide it by anything but itself in one.
Oh, we got the ways on. You know we was about to do extra shit.
Okay.
Can't tell us nothing.
Nothing.
Hey community, here's what's brewing today.
Ask your aunties. Throuple life.
Happy Juneteenth.
And Curiositea Pride Anthems. So get your cups ready for Minoritea Report.
Well, hey, welcome to Minoritea Report. It's Auntie Kerel.
It's Auntie Dawon.
You get Auntie Hennessy today.
Ooh, and it's a wig episode. We gonna let you know that from jump. And it's only us three this week. Only, quote unquote. We haven't just been just the trifecta. Like we looking like
the three of us. Ow.
Like a broke down 90s girl group.
Come on, Snippy. What our names is?
Name be? What would our girl group?
Yo aunteas.
The aunties.
with our canes.
So do, man. But man, it hasn't been the three of us in a little bit. I kind of missed you ladies, even though I see you and talk to y'all. But it's just like on the podcast, it's just a different dynamic.
It ain't the same when we love all our guests and
Absolutely.
we just we have so much fun. But like when it's just the three of us, man.
We like to cut up a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say that cut up is extra fresh. It ain't
kind of like that bob, that cut on that bob.
Ooh, right?
Girl, look.
Yes.
Come on, Dawon got the little, I don't even know what to call that. What is like, I'm trying to think who's had that kind of like short cut like that. I like the color.
Yeah,
right.
I really got
and the way you bobbed your head when you shake your head like that, bitch. I lived. I was like, she like somebody mama ready to cuss them out.
She's got body. She's got body. She's
yes. It's like a silvery, blondie, ashy, not like in a bad ashy. Like it's cute. I like that. I like the one in a bob though. Like
me too.
Bobs.
I do too. And your bob reminds me of the auntie that like cooks, that puts her foot in the food at the cookout. They're like, didn't I tell you not to eat yet? Why you up in my kitchen? Like has just enough shakings, Jimmy.
I found so when I was in Chicago last couple of weeks ago, whatever, went to the place up in Uptown where I normally get my wigs, and because she got a spot.
She got a
wig lady, y'all. She got a wig lady.
They were like, "Oh, we haven't seen you in a long time." I'm back. I'm buying stuff, so I got a couple of new little, additions to the collection.
I'm so here for it.
But I find that like when I first started buying wigs, the inner gay in me went for everything that was like long. I wanted the Beyonces. I wanted the, but now I like hair that moves. I want to have body.
Right.
I want to play
you need
with
to watch
it.
this episode on YouTube. I'm telling you, every time we have wigs on, we be just sitting here playing in our hair
all day.
So that's all we're about to do this whole entire episode. So
I'm loving that lime green though. It is just like it's popping against your skin.
Thank you, boo.
It's popping. It's popping.
My lip gloss is popping. My lip gloss is fresh.
And then we got Jerrell over here looking like Doja Cat. She about to bring out some dance moves.
Right, a dance break.
Yes. Say so. Look.
She's been known to drop it like it's hot.
I still struggle with Doja in my spirit of spirits because she's problematic to me. But she makes a little bop. Like she makes bops. It is what it is. I get it, but why you gotta be so problematic?
She's like the Chick-fil-A of like R&B singers. Because it's like the food is good.
Right.
But they problematic. Just very problematic. And people are like conflicted. Like, damn, you know, how do I give up something that tastes so good, but you know, it's killing our people?
She's like the light-skinned Azalea Banks. just fucking problematic.
Yeah, I know. I've never had Chick-fil-A.
Never.
You're not missing much.
I've never had Chick-fil-A.
Oh, you kind of missing much. It's delicious, but like you said, it's
don't be gassing him up now.
It's good.
Let me tell you, first of all, I eat enough. Okay, I don't need to add no more to my menu. You don't need to add nothing. Okay, I don't need to add nothing to
Wait a minute. Stand up and show us them cakes. Let me see if you've been eating.
Oh, so wait. So like, let me tell y'all. I actually thank you for reminding me because I was going to talk about this. So I haven't been looking in the mirror lately. I don't, you know, just because of COVID, I've just been avoiding the mirror. But today, I walked past the mirror and I had about like a good 15-minute just like a mirror session when I just saw my ass and it just caught me and I was like, oh, cakes belong to me. Right? I ain't seen you, girl, in a long time. I was like, oh,
well, how haven't you seen them in a long time, girl?
Because they're behind me. It's behind me. I don't got eyes in the back of my head. I need a mirror to see my booty.
But we saw them pictures from Palm Springs. Booty tooching all over the place.
I mean, y'all didn't really see the back though. I mean, she's gotten smaller though.
Even when you standing in the front, you see the back.
Right. I got a little booty now though because I lost some weight and my booty's gotten smaller. So I got a little booty now.
Okay,
you can't be part of the little booty committee,
right? Signify, like, clarify what is little in your terminology.
It doesn't bust out the seams on its own.
Oh, damn!
It's well mannered.
Then mine must be microscopic because she be sliding like zoop. Pants come up and down. With ease.
He said, not busting out the seams. He said, I have not busted out the seams in 6 months. Thank you very much.
Actually, you know what? Look, 15 months because I've only been in sweatpants. So
that part.
Because y'all know I was known to, y'all would see on Facebook as a status. Damn, bust through another pair of pants.
Bust another pair of pants. Oh my God.
But you see, booty, though.
You see, Burger King is going after Chick-fil-A, by the way, in the little tweet wars and things like that, which is always kind of interesting. It's like, hey, I'm glad that a major corporation is calling out another corporation's bullshit. Well, we know it's corporation shit. They know the marketing genius of it and things like that. Does it bother you? Because like we kind of have this conversation every part, like, oh, we're starting to see more and more companies do the pride emblems on their packaging and this and that.
Right.
Does it bother you, or are you more of the regard like, well, hey, it is what it is. Keep getting us out there. It is what it is. It's forcing it on people that might not accept us.
I mean, as long as they cut that check like they said they're going to do for every burger that's been sold at Chick-fil-A, up to $240,000 to HRC. Now, personally, I think the issue is that it's going to HRC.
That part. It should go to the ACLU.
Thank you. Okay, but you know, some people ain't ready for that conversation.
Let's have it.
I'm ready.
Let's have it.
We ain't got nobody but ourselves in the community. And they just turned the dial all the way up.
Okay.
They leaned in.
Okay. But I'm just saying, that's the only thing that I care about is where them funds are going to.
Yeah.
But as long as they, you know, put the money where the mouth is, I'm Gucci. The truth of the fact is, even though, like I said, I've never been to Chick-fil-A, I've always been on paying attention to brands that are, you know, actively, or companies that are actively going to, or you know, donating to organizations that are anti-LGBTQ or anti-Black or racist or homophobic or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
And so I've always known Chick-fil-A. That's the reason why I've never gone to Chick-fil-A, is because I've been there now.
Yeah.
And I've said it a couple times on here that I don't fuck with Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
So it's just nice to see some, like, a big organization or a big food chain like Burger King blasting them and putting this back on people's radar. And the amount of queens that I'm like, oh my God, Chick-fil-A. I'm like, bitch, where you been at?
Where you been at?
So you know what that tells me? What that tells me is you don't pay attention to what you put in your mouth.
Ooh. Dun, dun, dun.
That might be a soundbite.
Auntie Hennessy.
She said it. That's what I said. I agree. Like I know a lot of people or not a lot of people. Some people are like, well, I just feel like they're just doing it to get additional dollars and this and that, which cool. Yes, it is. But like, I always kind of go back to the regard, if I'm working for that company, say I'm working for like a Target and I don't see Pride Month stuff in my store, in the stores and things like that, I'm gonna feel a kind of way. Like, no, I need my company to stand up if I'm working and coming here every day. Ooh, right? I know Target has been stepping their game, especially for the Black queer Pride this year, by the way. So that's what I kind of always think is just like, if I worked for these corporations, like the company I work for, they ensure like we have all these Pride events and things like that, and they're making sure that they're donating. Like literally the group I'm in, we're making sure that we're utilizing our skill sets to aid minority groups, LGBTQIA plus groups, to help them succeed in the world. And it's pro bono. They're getting all our tools and skill sets. So I agree with you, Jerrell, putting your money where your mouth is, putting your, making sure you ensure that you're doing what you're saying. But just to get on the boat, it is what it is. It's going to continue. It's going to grow every year. And it's forcing middle America now in places that potentially might not have dealt with gay. It's like, damn, I can't even go to a Target and not see the gay pride flag. Well, bitch, we here. How about that?
Everywhere. I do kind of feel like it's a missed opportunity for the gay community. Like, if it bothers you, that first of all, it doesn't really bother me because people are going to shop and they're going to buy things where it's available. Yeah. So in my opinion, it's a missed opportunity in the queer community. Like, like where is everybody like sharing, a queer owned business, on their pages to say, hey, shop here instead of there. If you're buying stuff for, a Pride event or whatever, and if you got the Burger Kings and the Skittles and the Targets and the, whatever that are putting stuff out there, that's because there's a market for it and you're missing out on the opportunity. So I do kind of feel like I was in my mind trying to think about, okay, well, would I feel the same way if this were next February and all these same companies jumped on the Black Lives Matter, right. Blackity, black, I'm black and I'm proud. Like, I wonder if I would feel the same way. Because as through the whole George Floyd situation and everything after that, people just really bolstered around Black owned businesses. And, if you had a product that was like, I'm Black, whatever, people were asking the question before they buy, are you a Black owned business? So like, I'm here for that energy. I just wonder if I would feel the same way if, the Target came in there and they got a whole, Maya Angelou line or whatever.
Year. They, just cause that's what I do day in, day out. I see the data points in the CPG industry and they increased, I forget the percentage. They increased their Black sections, for lack of a better word, within their stores. Whether it be local, like I know here in Atlanta, they brought in like more local and regionalized Black-owned businesses. See, I'm here whether for that. It be like T-shirts, whether it be like books.
That's how I found Mess in the Bottle, is because Target had a whole thing of Mess in the Bottle, and they're based out of Baltimore, I believe.
Wow. And see, I have a Mess in a Bottle T-shirt, but I bought it directly from them.
Yeah. And every single Target store had Mess in the Bottle.
See, I'm here for that.
Actual water bottle.
What I'm not here for is those companies that do it under their own label, so you're paying the company. If it was the Target brand, saying I'm Black and I'm proud, like, I don't know about that. I don't know,
Massimo. Are you really Black?
Right. Target that is headquartered out of Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
I mean, we see
know about that.
Minneapolis.
That part. And that's the thing. Actually, I'm glad Target went in, because if Target didn't go in being headquartered in Minneapolis, I think I would have looked at them more funny than actually putting the Black stuff in the store. Be like, hold on, your ass is headquartered in Minneapolis. Look, and y'all ain't did shit.
Both headquarters on both Nicollet Mall, on 9th and Nicollet Mall in Minneapolis, and off of 394 and 100, in North Minneapolis, what have we got?
Got all of them stores. So,
bro, I'm sitting up here trying to figure out who do you look like? Like you remind me of like Axl Rose, if Axl Rose got like, you know, like fell in a vat of highlighter and then got burnt.
Has its thorn.
Then got burnt. I'm done with you.
And then got burnt. Okay, now
Love
that's
it.
all right.
I love it.
I'll take that. I'll take the Axl Rose money in a heartbeat. I know I had to put the little bandana on because, you know, the edges on this one, they have like the little baby hairs. And they already kind of pre-cut some of them, so they look a little wild.
Oh, they look a little wild.
Like, you know, get the little got to be glued down and everything. And I'm already
that's a little too much work.
Bitches wouldn't stick no way, right? So
I actually have a couple of wigs that I'm just gonna like throw away because like they need to be washed, but I don't want to do it. So I think I'm just.
It's like I'm done. Right. I'm through with her.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Like you can drag her.
But
have it. Community, if you want my old wigs, just
we got a donation pile. There you go.
They cute. They
Speaking
used
of
to be
against
cute.
Axl Rose too. You still got to. They're probably still cute.
I was gonna
They're
say,
just not up to like the Auntie Chardonnay standard.
That part right there, literally, I couldn't say it fast enough. But you know, them wigs are still good condition.
Right. It's like donate them to Auntie Vodka, Auntie Handy. We'll take them in a heartbeat.
Sure.
But speaking of Axl Rose, it made me think, have y'all heard that new Willow Smith song?
Mm-mm.
And it's like a rock, it's like a punk rock song.
Oh,
it is so dope.
Oh,
Transparent Soul.
Transparent Soul. Okay, yeah. Because I was like, new.
It sounds like
just come out with a new one, but it's. I mean, it's new this year.
Maybe like a couple weeks. Well, you know, we haven't had just the three of us a little bit, so
yeah,
maybe it's 3 weeks ish. But it's dope. Like it sounds like some like 90s punkish, popish. Like she's found her lane finally.
Yeah.
Like if she stays in this lane, like she's gonna blow. I mean, she's already Willow Smith, but she's like gonna
got that styling.
blow up.
She got that styling like Janet Jackson and
yes,
and Busta Rhymes. What was that?
Rhymes.
What's it gonna be?
What's it gonna be? Yeah,
yeah. But like she looks really cute in the video too. I like the wigs she had in the video.
All right.
I'm like, come on, Willow, you found your
big old nod to her mom because I didn't know Jada was in a rock band.
She was in like a heavy metal band.
Heavy.
No idea.
Yeah.
It's dope. I'm like, good job, Willow. And I'm just glad to see black punk rockish out there because now I'm just seeing on like social media all the black punk rockers coming out like, oh, we fuck with Willow now. We fuck with Willow now.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's dope to come out the woodworks and have a lane for everyone. So, but yeah, check that song out if you haven't.
I love it that we're in a place now where like you can be in any lane. You know what I mean? Because think about with Lil Nas X and him coming out with that country song, you know, versus like a long time ago with Darius Rucker, you know, when he got into like country music from
Hootie and the Blowfish.
Hootie and the Blowfish.
Thank you. Adam's gonna kill me for not remembering that because that's like his favorite. He loves him.
Oh yeah, because y'all went to a concert.
I didn't go. They had tickets.
Yeah, they had to.
They had to. My mom loves her my dad loves country, but my mom loves her some Darius Rucker. I think she thinks she's sexy or something. I'm like, go ahead, mama. Flirt with you some Darius Rucker.
I bet you never thought in a million years you would say those string of words together.
You know, it is what it is. I get it. The older I've gotten, I'm like, okay, I see. You might be married. They just celebrate their 41st wedding anniversary.
Oh,
but they ain't dead
congratulations.
Either. Yeah. 41 years. That's crazy. But you know what? For her to be like, oh, that man's sexy too. She ain't dead.
Right.
She love my daddy. She love my dad, you know, but to her, Darius Rucker's it. I guess. Go ahead, girl.
You know, ain't nothing wrong with a daily eye exam.
Right. Just making sure I'm still here.
Right.
It's like I put in on these glasses for a reason. They see it all, honey. They see it all. Well, damn. I forget what I was about to ask you too, because it got me sidetracked with Darius Rucker. Anyway, but you saw Simone won her seventh national championship.
Yes,
like,
ma'am.
Just lapping hoes at the right. Like She won by like 4.5 points. I'm like, dear God, like
she just keeps going. I love it.
No one has come close to her within less than 3 points since 2012 when it was Kyla Ross. That was the last time someone has got less than 3 points close to her at the championships. I was like,
love it.
Well,
and she's still motivated to do well. Like, that's the hard thing. Just like I think they said during that the second night, they were saying, could you even just imagine if there was someone that pushed her, like what she'd be doing? Because like she's obviously pushing herself and still wanting to succeed and do better and push the envelope. But just think if she had a rival, like what else would she be doing right now? I don't know. Or maybe it's the same stuff. I don't know. But it's amazing, and I'm here for it.
It's just nice to see people out there doing what they love. You know, like that's how you know you got longevity, because you just wake up and you're like, I love doing this. It's not work. It's just pure enjoyment every time I step out and do whatever it is that I love to do. And it's so evident that she loves. And then also, and I text y'all in the group chat, but like the picture of all the Black gymnasts. Somehow our Black folks now think that the U.S. is sending a whole team of Black girls
I wish.
to the Olympics in gymnastics.
Wouldn't that be amazing though?
And
that would be amazing.
For the community, I text the girls and I was like, this sounds like some church gossip. Like we've already been retold so many times, no one knows the truth.
Right.
Like,
and it's just like, A, it's the wrong amount of girls that are able to even go.
There can only be 4.
That part.
Like,
so that part alone. And then it's just like, hey, but let me give Jordan Childs credit because she might be making the team. So we might have 2 Black women.
Yeah, she might
on
make the team. If she does what she did this past U.S. National Championship, she'll make the team.
And then Suni Lee, so that's another person of color. Literally, you might have 3 out of 4 slots be women of color, which is going to be
awesome. And just the visibility, and all the young girls that grow up. It's just like kind of like going back to Dominique Dawes, right? How many girls grew up? Right.
The bang. Whoa.
Girl, I always see that girl.
That bang.
It was tight.
That bang and that high bun.
Yes.
You know, she lived in that roller.
But like how many girls grew up seeing her and on her platform and have gotten into the game, and now you've got, you know, the number one player in gymnastics, you know, is a Black woman who's just keeps on killing it.
Yeah.
And I feel bad. We just still skip over Gabby. Like Gabby ain't did shit.
Like, she opened some doors. You know, she did.
You know, she
and now she in the Smoothie King commercials.
She opened some doors, but then, you know,
and she got a wig
Simone came in and knocked down all the windows and the walls.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna check her wig line out because she got a wig line.
We should check her wig line out.
Come on,
Gabby. I gave her all that shit about her hair.
Sure did.
And now she has a stigma about it, so she released a wig line, and we still ain't supporting her wig line. So we should check that wig line.
I'll check to see what she got.
See if it's off the paw.
I actually think I'm gonna start buying well, not all, but I think I'll start buying a few human hair wigs.
Yeah.
Because I'm ready to upgrade.
We have a couple from when that place shut down
too. I can just see her now. Just
I can't wait either.
What you doing this weekend? Styling my wig. She going all day.
Right. Big old bouffant.
Right. I had to go to the store real quick because I ran out of pins to pin my wig down.
Exactly. She's like, girl, you coming out tonight? No, I got a roller set.
No, girl. No, girl, I'm busy.
I got a roller set about 4 wigs.
I know what I was going to ask you guys. We didn't even get a chance last episode to talk about what we did for Memorial Weekend. How was your Memorial Weekend?
You start first.
Oh, man. It was like, I still don't have a 100% voice back. Like, it's probably about like 90% right now still.
Really?
That tells you how my weekend was. Like, I hadn't been out that consistently.
Is it the voice or is it the throat?
Girl, no, it's the voice. Thank you very much. It's the voice.
They're gurgling testicles
anyway,
all weekend.
Gurgling, all weekend.
Look, girl, when you said you don't remember FaceTiming me, that's when I knew. That's when I knew.
Honey. And we blame that one on our friend Brian Blues. What's up, Blues, if you're listening? Because literally the first night I get there, so I had to work, by the way, like that Thursday and Friday. So took the first flight in, worked that day, meet up with the guys. It was one of the guys' birthdays. And so, you know, the birthday turn up is a whole nother thing. And everyone's like seeing each other for the first time in like over a year, this and that. And so, so we started off with like margaritas and all that stuff. And this is like a 6 p.m. dinner. Then we go into like, so I went to Fort Lauderdale, by the way. So we go into like the Wilton Manor drag of bars. And then we were out for a while. And then Brian Blue's like, we're going to go here. And they have like these huge ass Long Island iced teas. And he bought everyone around Long Island iced teas. That's what did it. That's what did it. I hadn't had a long. When's the last time you had a Long Island iced tea? Hey,
girl.
20 years ago.
Right.
It's been a minute, and it was probably like $5 in like a liter.
Girl,
of Long Island's like some college drinking stupid ass special.
And we were like, wait, we doing what? And he's like, no, that's what this bar is known for. We got to do it. And then the turn up was real. Next thing you know, I was time traveling. I was like, where the hell?
She done entered the Matrix and came out the other side.
Thought I was 21.
But how did that body feel afterward?
One of the worst hangovers I've had in a long ass time that following day. But then, okay, we're still on vacay, quote unquote.
Right.
Like, so I'm trying to like be productive working that Friday. It was horrible. And then another group of guys came in, and so everyone's like, oh, we're going back out. So we ended up going to Miami. We like drove down to Miami for the night, and so went to Twist. Have you ever been to Miami?
Well, I've been to Miami, but I haven't been out in Miami.
Oh, and the last time I was in Miami, I was naked on a bus stop. So. Just saying.
I can't stand you.
Just saying.
When you was naked at the bus stop? Is that
girl,
what you said?
I blacked out, came to, and I was butt naked on the bus stop outside the Airbnb we were at. Ain't never been back.
She probably got warrants. She probably got warrants and everything.
Girl, I might. I don't know. I might.
Don't get pulled over.
Pull over that ass too fat.
Girl.
You have outstanding warrants from 1998.
Girl.
Miami turned my ass.
Miami is something. Here's the thing. Miami is so black now. Like Miami is like where every black person in the U.S. goes to vacay. So we get down there, and this is like blackity black. It's so many people. They like had a lot of the roads blocked off. You could only go certain routes, et cetera, et cetera. But there's a big gay club community, if you know Miami, called Twist. And it brought me back because Twist is the first probably like big gay club that I went to in my 20s. And like, so going back, and I hadn't been back since. So it's probably been 15 years since I had been there. But it brought back memories because like, I remember going to Twist in Miami in my 20s, early 20s. What was his name? I don't know.
You said you have memories, girl. No,
I have memories, but not the name. I have other memories. But remembering that was like the first time I remember feeling completely kind of free because I knew I wasn't going to run into anyone, even though now knowing if I was ran into somebody, they gay too, ho. You know?
Right, that part.
But remembering like, and just like going up to guys, making out at the bar, like, and so walking back in that space, I was like, wow. This is kind of like almost a weird full circle moment right now. But so anyway, went there, partied to like 4 a.m. Then we go back to Fort Lauderdale. And then that was just like the repeat. It was just like rinse and repeat, continue to just go out and see people. We went to the beach all day Saturday. And so I lost my voice. We went to a party, a circuit kind of party. A bitch, like, so there was like VIP section. And I'm sorry, I'm still on all this limelight this weekend, but there was a VIP section up this long stairwell. So the night's going on. And I wasn't even like that drunk by this point. Tell me why. And what's her name? Miss Cracker's down there performing, doing cartwheels and shit on the stage. And I'm like, okay. So we went upstairs, me and Blues, to go get, because it was easier to go to that bar. And so I think I'm gonna be stupid, like voguing down the steps. Why my ass had whoop slipped, and bitch, I tumbled down like 3 or 4 of them steps, and I was like, oh my hip, so it hurt.
My elbow, my
literally
neck,
my hip,
my back.
my hip still hurts, and this has been 2 weeks now. My hip still hurts. All I remember is looking back at Brian, and he's just like, like he didn't even laugh. That tells you how hard I hit. And then, but here's the funny part. I had just gotten a White Claw and they didn't open it, so it was still full. All I turn around and look and see that White Claw spinning down the rest of them steps. And I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck do I do? I'm so embarrassed. And I'm looking to see how many people saw me. But luckily, Miss Cracker was on stage, so everybody was looking up there and didn't really see me fall down these fucking stairs in front of everybody.
I would have died if her ass was the only one that saw you and she stopped the whole performance to like,
look, you would have to leave Miami alone for the rest of your life too.
I would have booked a flight then and there. You'll
be on the same list as me.
Girl.
Right.
So yeah, so Memorial Weekend was great to see people. So like, what did you guys do? Like, because we were all kind of everywhere, I think. Like, I know, Dawon, you were in where? Rhode Island?
Yeah, we were in Montauk.
Okay.
So that's Long Island. That's west of the Hamptons or east of the Hamptons. And well, I mean, but it wasn't great because it rained the entire time and it was a high of 60, low of 40s. It was a high of 60. So yeah, we were looking forward to going out there and hanging out on the beach and, you know, doing all that kind of stuff. And that didn't happen. So
Mother Nature said,
she said, no, not today.
Did you end up staying the whole weekend, or did you guys make it back earlier?
Well, we were supposed to go out there Friday night, but we just, since it was kind of cold and rainy Friday night, we're like, okay, well, why don't we just go out there Saturday and then stay through Monday? Maybe, you know, we might be able to do some stuff. And then we got out there on Saturday and we went to a restaurant. We watched some TV. We, you know, just like hung out or whatever. It was like 6 of us. And then Sunday morning we got up and we came back home. Wow. Like I take that back. We drove from Montauk back to where our friends live. They have a house in Northport and we stayed there at their kind of like, it's not really a beach house, but they're like on the water. So it was much more comfortable because we just had a lot more room to spread out, but we just hung out. So but look, I came back, it was 3 days off of work and I did not work at all. I didn't look at emails. I didn't shut it all down. I came back on Tuesday feeling like I finally had a weekend. So that was nice.
That's good because you're known to push through and check an email real quick.
Like the emails be popping.
I'm ADD with that stuff. That's why I literally have all my notifications turned off, because if I see a little red dot, then I know I'm gonna open it because I'm gonna see what is it, you know? So I turn all that shit off. What about you, Jerrell?
I just had a family emergency, so I was back in Minneapolis hanging out with the family. Yeah, nothing too crazy at all whatsoever.
Well, we all can't be falling downstairs at Twist. We can't all be falling downstairs at Twist like some
it hurts so bad. Look, it still hurts.
You live for both of us, girl.
Right.
I live.
I'm glad I was tamed. I did nothing.
Literally hadn't had one of those weekends in forever. Like, it was insane. Just because it's just like you're just constantly going, and it made me realize, bitch, you are not 21 anymore, honey. It was
pass the baton, girl.
Girl. And I was like, I'm getting too old to be falling down steps. Like, where they doing that at? Dear God. Like I told Corey, he was like, you're just probably just messy drunk. I was like, at that point in the night, I actually wasn't. That's the sad thing.
That's
the sad thing. Literally just slipped, whoop, fell on that hip, had a bruise, like you know, black people, it's hard to see bruises. Had a bruise all on my thigh, still there. This hip is still sore. I'm like, nope, no mas until like the next trip. Till the next trip. But I did get to meet, Brian C. Hawkins. Brian C.
Oh, you did?
Yes. got to meet him, and that was like the last day I was there, and so I definitely didn't have a voice. And he's like, "Girl, you don't sound like your podcast." I was like, "I know." I was like, "I sure don't, because I ain't got no damn voice." But no, that was nice to meet a community member, and Dawon actually knows him from I guess what we call real
Columbus.
life or whatever that is, you know. But yeah, that was nice to meet him. So
Brian's good peoples.
Absolutely enjoyed that, and he was getting twisted. Right, no relations, no relations, nor relation.
Both,
or maybe relations. I don't know what y'all had. I don't know y'all history.
Never bumped coochies.
Bumping that coochie. Oh man, but you know what? Let's I'm trying to think what else we want to talk about. What else do we need to catch up on real quick?
Real quick? I mean,
I know,
we got a list.
So
right. First of all, is any topic real quick?
Right.
And the show length. So let's do manager name game. Let's get that out the way before we
get her out the way. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And community, we decided we're going to put a hard stop because we'll do it at the end of July. That way it's not the entire year that we're doing the manager name game, but we'll get a few more weeks in here to see if they guess the name, or maybe they've already guessed it. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, Jerrell, what you have?
I got. I want to say like Mia.
Okay.
And
I'll give you two because we didn't do it last week.
Yeah, and then Crystal.
All right, Dawon, what you got?
Chantal.
Oh, she went black.
Right.
Or
I can tell you it's not Chantal, but I like that name.
Damn.
I like that name, though.
And Tanya. Or Tanya.
All right.
If you want to be bougie with it.
Tanya. Oh man. But I'm a nerd. Do you guys watch like all the Apple events and all that stuff? Like the WWDC?
I don't normally watch the ones where they're not talking about the new iPhones, but I always look at the reviews of what they talked about for the other ones.
Yeah, right. I know. So they just had that, I guess, at this point last week. And I'm just a nerd. I just love that shit. Like, I'll watch all the reviews on YouTube and all that stuff. But I really wanted to watch because they were rumored to be releasing a new MacBook Pro. And mine is kind of like on its last legs. It's slowing down a lot. And they didn't do it. So I'm a little upset at life.
Yeah.
Because I want the next generation, even though the ones that are out now are like insanely good.
Yeah.
I just want to kind of future-proof myself a little more. And so watching all this WWC, I was sitting here like, this bitch just ain't announced nothing. And obviously people are leaking this information. So Apple's not saying we're going to announce it. But like analysts are thinking, oh, we hear from suppliers in Japan and China that the new whatever is being released. And Apple at this point has been trying to really cut down on leaks. So I think a lot of times, a lot of these leakers are like, oh yeah, they're going to do it. And Apple's like at the last second saying, nope, we're not going to do it. We're going to wait like another 2 weeks just to be like, ha, y'all got it wrong again kind of thing. I'm like, damn, but they just showed like a lot of the new iOS, like the iOS 15 that's coming out. The new
a lot
Mac,
of good changes that are coming down the pike with the interface and how it's working for you, which I'm really excited about.
Same here.
And they're doing the, with the new iOS, they're doing the digital IDs. And there's a lot of conversation happening right now. So basically what that means is you can load your, like your passport and your, let me not misspeak, your driver's license for sure. And your vaccine cards and like these kind of like, and your work badges. Yep. They've been testing this for the last couple of years and proofing out the technology. They've been testing this with TSA. And that means that you'll be able to use your phone to have like your ID in there. So,
they said certain states, and I was like, damn, I know Georgia good well gonna be the last damn state. I'm gonna be mad as hell.
Well, but you can have it. You just, won't be able to use it at your airport, but like, when you come home, it might be good.
But Georgia's still gonna be the last one.
you can come on over. You can come on over to New York and you can use it, boo. You might be not be able to use it on the way here, but you can use it on the way back. Right.
But it makes me a little sad for like the kids that with like the days of like fake IDs and things like that. It's like everything's just becoming so digital that makes it increasingly harder to fake anything. So it's like, damn, the kids won't ever know about having like a fake ID and shit.
But they find a way. Find a way.
I got questions then. So I'm assuming you probably have to scan this badge on your phone yourself. So as long as they have the fake or the badge, or whatever, you can basically put that onto your phone. So I got some security issues, some security that just it ain't making sense to me. It seems a little too risque for mom. Because like, what if you lose your phone and somebody hack up into your shit? Like, boop, they got you.
But you can remote erase.
Yeah,
you can remote erase. So there is a fail safe there. It's not. I mean, but once they have it, they have it. You know, like so. Whatever, but we're just. I think
it's no different than getting your wallet stolen or leaving your wallet. You know,
that part.
It's just like, honestly, it's probably harder to get into your phone nowadays than even to just steal your damn wallet.
And quite frankly, it's one less thing you have to carry around with you. Like I'm more likely to never forget my phone than I am to never forget my wallet.
I agree with that statement.
You know what I mean? So like if, you know, especially like if you're going to like a concert or whatever, and you can pay with Apple Pay, or you can pay with, you know, whatever the digital, you know, currencies are and whatever, and then you can use your phone as your ID, then all you really need to bring is your phone, which is kind of cool. I mean, there's obviously security.
Cool. I just never used any of that. I'm just so used to filling up myself before I leave to make sure I got everything that I'm just lonely. You know, like, hey, look.
I know. I'm ready because I've been wondering. I was like, why don't we have digital IDs yet? Like, it's been way too long. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, that's dope. I like some of the stuff in the messaging app that they're doing. Like, say if like we sent 10 pictures, instead of having the long scroll of pictures, it's going to be a stack now that you can just click and be like, okay, now it takes you to a different screen to see all of them at once instead of scrolling individually trying to get the pictures. So there's just like, it's not a big,
I'm gonna have to see how the little not transparency, the
the invisible ink.
Right. Because, you know, like I used to sit like the little, back when we was working in offices, you know, we had to be a little cryptic when we would send little, you know,
the little dick pics,
sexy pictures. You know, we're like, look at this sweet chocolate.
You said, look at this Santa. You said, look at this Santa.
Oh, today?
Yeah, today.
Come on, Santa, ho, 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 bitch.
Right? Yes, he could drop some presents off under my tree any day.
That's right. Jingle these balls, bitch.
Right, exactly.
All I want for Christmas is Santa.
Ooh, honey.
Oh, that's funny. I was like, come on, Jesus. But anyway, okay, maybe we'll get into it now. What time is it?
Ask your auntie.
I don't think either of us were on the same time on that. Look, they got 3 different intros on that one.
It could all be fixed.
We're a little rusty this week. Let's see here. Where is it? Oh, there it goes. So this one says, and actually this one, it came from me, it says. I don't remember writing it, but okay.
It tracks.
Right, it tracks. But it's actually, I'm glad this one came up. It's been in here for a while because I just recently watched Special, and we'll maybe even touch on that a little bit. And that's the TV show that's on, is it Netflix? HBO?
Netflix, yeah. 2 years since their last season came out.
Yeah, this season was good too. Yeah. But and it says, could you be in a throuple? Do you believe you can live with multiple people at once?
I couldn't. Honestly,
why not?
I couldn't. I don't know. I just being with one person is enough. I mean, at least in my mind, if you're doing it correctly, it's enough. But I guess maybe, you know, having an extra person just takes a little bit of the work off of your shoulders. So,
right.
You know, like you got options, you know, if you're bored over here, you know, float on over there. I don't know. But I don't know. For me personally, I just want one person. And honestly, the thought of entertaining 2 people is just a lot. Currently right now, I am guardian of 2 kids. And even just having kids in the relationship is just enough for the both of us. Like, we looked at each other and we're like, oh, I don't know if we want kids anymore.
Oh, right.
You know, so like the thought of just even a whole other body in our relationship at all is just like, it's, I understand why people are into it. Totally get it. Go for it. I got many friends who are actually in throuples, some who have been in multiple throuples, you know, and they love it. It's for them. Go for it. I don't care. You know what? Get, you know, what is it? Split roasted every damn day if you want to. I don't care. But for me personally, it's a no, ma'am.
What are you thinking, Dawon?
Theoretically, I can get there. Like, theoretically, you know, like, it's not going to happen, but theoretically I can get there. I just think about the sustainability of it. Right. And then I think about the practicality. Like, okay, are we all sleeping in the same bed every single night?
I think that same question.
Like, no, I mean, legit. Like, I get it for, like, okay, take the sex out of it.
Right.
Like the you're in a relationship with two other people. Are we sleeping in the same? Is that what we're doing? Or do we, you know, share like two different homes and, like, you know, you go from, so, you know, I listened to Bob the Drag Queen's and Monet Exchange's sibling rivalry, and Bob the Drag Queen is in, I don't know if he classifies, I don't want to like misclassify his relationship, but he has two boyfriends. Yeah. And he's got one that lives here in New York, and he's living with his other one in LA. And he used to live with this one in New York. And so, but they have this relationship. But they're not, like, they don't all live together. And I think for a long time, his two boyfriends had never even met. So, like, the idea of a throuple is kind of like, okay, are we talking about a short-term kind of like flingy kind of situation, or are we talking about a long-term relationship where y'all gonna grow old together as a threesome? And I'm just thinking about, how is that gonna work? Like, who am I gonna sit next to on the plane when we go to Fiji? You know, you would only sit next to one.
You're gonna be in that middle seat.
You know what I mean? Like, the practicality of it, you know, and like, okay, and every time we go to a restaurant, you know, we either have to sit in a booth or there's going to be one person sitting by themselves, you know, so I wonder who's going to be the one thinking, like, okay, how many times have I been sitting by myself versus everybody else? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That's what I keep thinking about. Like, I can get there with, like, you know, the notion of like sex and people being polyamorous and, you know, and being in love with more than one person. It's not really how I'm wired, but I can understand it conceptually. I just, what's the practicality of it?
And I think that's why I say no, because it's thinking about how this would work that I'm just like, oh God, I'm exhausted.
Like, who would be like your?
But I will say this: I think if I was single, I could be the third in the relationship. Okay. I don't think I could be in a relationship and invite a third. Because when you're the third or the one being asked to enter the relationship, I feel like the pressure ain't really on you. It's on the couple. It's on the two that already had the relationship to really maintain the stability of their own home. So for me, it's like, I'm here to have fun.
So they're the meat, the potatoes, and you're the spice.
Exactly.
The seasoning. I mean, let me blackenize it. The seasoning.
I'm the dessert with all this cake.
Right. Oh, I know that's like Lowry's. Sponsored by Duncan Hines, bitch.
Okay.
Duncan Hines.
But I mean, like, I think I would probably be more inclined to do it that way if I was a third going into the relationship, because I think if you are a couple, the person that's going to be that third has to have an interest to the individual that's going to be the third. They both have to be into it. I don't think it's one of those things where, like, it works for one person, not the other. I think that's just a threesome that happens in bed. But a throuple is actual dating and wanting to have both romantic and physical relationships with these people.
And building a life together.
Right, exactly.
Like, what does that look like?
Right. So I think as a third, I think I would probably enjoy that more because I would be getting twice as much of the attention. You know, like they would be the one
this
interested
greedy.
in me.
What about you, Kerel?
You know, it's funny. Like I had never like I'm trying to remember what I watched to initially put this question in there, but I think I'm like you, Dawon. Like in theory, I get it, quite frankly. And I think as I've gotten it more, the older I've gotten, and maybe the more secure I've gotten in myself, the more secure I've been in the relationship I'm in, and things like that, that I could potentially see. And I'm trying to frame it
there.
Right. How exactly. But then it's just like you said, it's like the day-to-day stuff that I'm like
whose house are we going over to for Christmas?
Right.
And then whose house are we going over to Thanksgiving?
And
you know, and then
just,
wait, do you then just rotate and then you have to relegate
one for sadly,
Easter?
the optics around it still is just like, okay, they finally and it's sad, like I try to live as much of like I don't care what people are thinking, but at the end of the day, you still care a little bit. So it's just like, especially when it comes to family around the Thanksgiving and the Christmas, what's the optics of saying, okay, like just say Corey and I like got into a throuple now after damn near 9 years. It'll be 9 years this month. Okay, all the families are used to Kerel and Corey. Now it's Kerel and Corey and Carrie. You know, like there's a dynamic there that I do know that other folks may not understand. That unfortunately, I probably would still care a little bit about.
That's real. That's real.
And so it's stuff like that that kind of hinders me, but the older I've gotten, I can see how it happens. And honestly, I would almost be probably more open to potentially another couple, like Corey and
like
I,
a foursome.
And
like
exactly, like Dawon and Adam, Kerel and Corey.
Yes.
That makes it a little easier.
Then you can just pair off. You can do whatever.
Exactly.
You know, you got dinner dates all the time. It's fun.
Right. And so that's maybe more of the poly. I don't know how all it would work or whatever. But I think I'm more open to that than maybe a throuple. However, I'm a never say never human being. So like, but at the end of the day, it probably would come simply to the practicality of it. I'm not sleeping in the middle. I get too hot. So at least I'm going to be on the edge. So y'all going to have to figure that shit out.
And then if you got to get up in the middle of the night to like, you'll go get some water or go use the bathroom and whatnot, you got to take the covers off of everybody because you in the middle.
Right.
You know, so you waking everybody up.
Exactly. And like I know some couples like they almost do a rotation where like, okay, you're sleeping in the guest room tonight, we sleep together. So whatever works for whomever. But in that regard, I agree. I think it'd just be a little harder, but I in theory can see now how it could happen.
Isn't that interesting though? Yeah. Like, isn't that interesting? Like, if you think, but
languages.
just the notion that how we have evolved as a community, as a not even a queer community, but just as a community altogether, that we can now start having conversations about polyamory and like, you know, like the notion of like being in a 3-person or multiple person, you know, relationship, and that not be so taboo. Right. It might, to your point, Kerel, it might, you know, like people may still have questions and you might not have it all figured out, but like, I was watching an episode of The Chi last night and, you know, they were talking about, it was, you know, me and the names don't get along, but, but it was a couple in there where the guy always cheated on the girl and they have a baby together, whatever. And, you know, to get back at him, she cheated on somebody else. And she was like, you know what? 2 gay guys that she was talking to because she sells weed. This show is so good. She was talking to 2 gay guys she was talking to at a weed party, whatever. They were like, well, you know, you should just think about having an open relationship. You know, at least you know if he's fucking around, you know. And it's like, how evolved are we that these conversations are happening so that, you know, however it is you want to define your relationship, it's on you, and it's not like mired with all of these like other eyes, like, oh, your relationship gotta be like this, and you know, you gotta get married and da 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 da.
All right, like because I don't think I would be
that child that could be in y'all relationship that y'all be in a throuple with, that both you and your partners have been like,
that's it.
Yeah, we got 3. So Henry Cavill.
Oh, my God! I think that's everybody's list.
For sure. Michael B. Jordan. And then Ricky Martin.
Ooh. We went to Puerto Rico and Corey was still searching for damn Ricky Martin. He's like, every time I come to Puerto Rico, I'm looking for Ricky.
Was he yelling Menudo? Menudo!
The girl, he'd be like, Ricky! Menudo! Ricky! I'm like, Corey, shut up.
That would be our 3 that both of us would be like.
Jason Momoa's up there for us. Who else?
He's too big for Fez.
Ooh. Ooh. Like, because here I am. I'm 6'2". So like any dude that's like taller than me and just beefy like that, I'm like, damn, you make.
But are you talking about like? Are you talking about being somebody that like you would be sexually attractive? Because like what I'm struggling with is like there's one thing for like the sex. Right. That's a whole group of people, but then there's another one about who we would want to be like the person that you want to be in a relationship.
Literally those 3. Like we like Henry because he's also nerdy, very family, like really cool, like laid back. Very introvert kind of guy. We like Michael B. Jordan because he's out there doing the work. He's out there making a difference, a good family man. We love Ricky Martin because he is fine, sexy, a great guy, handsome. He can sing my panties off any day.
She bangs.
But
yeah, that's interesting. I guess now that you asked that, Dawon, a lot of it kind of does go to like the physical attraction immediately because it's like we don't know these people at the end of the day. Yes, we assume kind of whatever their persona is out there, but the day-to-day, that's a whole nother thing when like they leave their drawers on the bathroom floor for the 20th time, getting on your damn nerves today, Yeah,
but those are another things that you never know until you're dating.
Exactly. And that would be the hardest part, honestly, with the throuple too. It's just like, damn, that's another dynamic.
But I guess for what you know of a person, not as far as what they can do as a celebrity, but what you know of a celebrity. Is there one out there that
I guess we've never talked about it in that regard. But I know every time Henry Cavill come on that damn screen, I know both of us like, damn, who is this man? That's a man, Maury. That's a man. That's a man. Woo! Jesus. But Michael B. Jordan's up there too. Like the 3 you said, you can't go wrong with. Jason Momoa is just like another one I know. Maybe a little more for me because I'm like, ooh, that's another man, Maury. But I like, and just thinking too though, like another weird thing about it as I've gotten older is I don't know, because I'm not naturally just a jealous human being. I don't think that part would really bother me as much. Yes, there's days where you're like, oh, I wish I could go there. Like, I got to work today and y'all too doing some shit. I want to do some shit too. That might be like the day-to-day shit about it. But I don't even think there's like a jealousy part of it. That I say that now. Who knows what you get into it. That I don't think that would ever steer me out of a situation like that as well.
I just know like the one thing is a person would have to be verse. If
yes, I agree with that statement.
They would have to be verse.
Absolutely. I agree with that statement.
Yeah.
Because I want to fuck, I want to be fucked. Yeah, I get it. Oh, yeah,
I mean,
we just in here.
One lane and one lane only. So this person better be able to work both of us. I'm just saying.
Oh, so hard. Motherfuckers want to find me. Got one lane and one lane only. But who's your celebrity, I guess, whatever couple, Dawon?
I'm really trying to figure that out. Like who, like between like, so I know I shared this on the podcast, but like I'm like a, what is it? Sapiosexual or sapiosexual or whatever. I'm more into personality and swag and like your intellect and want to be able, like, I want that connection. And don't get me wrong, like, loves the body, but for me, like, if we connect, that's it. That's right. Having said that, I would say Lenny Kravitz.
Oh,
because I feel like
you're right.
Because I feel like
you're right. I know, grab my brush and everything. I'm brushing my hair like.
I feel like he gives really good.
What's he give?
Good I was gonna say like only child energy. Like meaning like he's one of those people that like he has so much of his own thing going on that like it would be additive to our relationship outside of like just the physicality and all that kind of stuff. Like I feel like you know that would be cool and whatnot. Also, who is the guy that's in those Marvel movies? It's not Daredevil.
Which guy?
Ryan.
You're talking about Deadpool?
Yeah, him.
Yes.
Because I feel like I keep
Ryan
want to say Ryan.
There it
Reynolds.
is.
Thank you. I was like,
I keep on wanting to say Philippe, and I'm like, it shows.
I know. I was saying the same thing.
I'm like, that's 1997.
Right. But the way that Adam and I like our humor with each other, we're always poking each other, like figuratively and literally, like, and so like I feel like he would be able to mix in with like how we banter and how we play, so to speak, and you just fine as fuck. And then I think I said this on the past podcast, and I don't know if Adam would agree with this, but Leon. Do you know Leon? Leon, who was the ex of Cynthia Bailey for the Housewives fans out there, or whatever. He was a 5 Heartbeats, and he was a crack addict in 5 Heartbeats, and he also played the Black Jesus in Madonna's Like a Prayer. But if like I follow him on IG, and like his personality is just so. He's got just a really cool, like amazing kind of like just magnetic energy. Swag. So
Well, I know who another one, Nick Jonas. That's another one. Corey just talked about Nick Jonas the other day. He's like, what's that Jonas brother? I'm like, Nick? He's like, yeah, he can get it. I'm like, yes, he can. Jesus.
He can get it and take it.
Woo. Jesus. But yeah, like it's just, but like this this question is interesting just because watching the second season special, not to give away too much if you haven't watched it, watch it, by the way. It's amazing. Like there's a couple scenes in there that killed me, like dying laughing, like the wedding scene, and then like the karaoke scene. The karaoke scene killed my ass. But part of the story this season is him like just venturing and discovering what he likes and doesn't like in relationships and things like that. And he was almost in a throuple situation, or kind of was in a throuple situation. Yeah. And Corey goes, don't even fucking think about it. And I was like, really? I was like, why? He's like, He never elaborated on why. So I honestly want to have the conversation just to see where it stems from. Just like, I'm not looking to get in the throuple or nothing like that, but just to see why he feels that way. Does he feel like, like I'm too jealous for it, or just too much energy for it, and things like that. So it's a to be continued conversation. But
I also doesn't share. Feels like I don't share.
That's kind of how Corey is.
Yeah. I also feel like there's a difference between like purposefully going out to pursue that kind of arrangement versus finding yourself in that situation.
Right. I agree.
You know what I mean? Like if you are out with your boo and, you engage with somebody that you both feel like the energy is right.
Right.
Like that could be one situation, versus like somebody coming home saying, hey honey, I want to have a conversation with you about da 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 da. Exactly. And it becomes a one-sided kind of thing. Not always a one-sided, but it can seem like a one-sided kind of want and ask.
Yeah.
I feel like in relationships, there's always these like power dynamics that are always shifting and you're managing. And so that might be one thing that plays into it, who brings it up.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Cause like, I'm pretty open here, but sometimes I'm like, damn, I share so much. But, cause I think we're both pretty open at this point in our relationship to if something popped off, it is what it is kind of thing. But I agree with that statement. There might be something for him, at least, and maybe me sometimes, I don't know, the purposely seeking that out part of it, meaning that means you're leaving me behind.
Right.
You know, and that's not what I want. Exactly. I don't want to feel that way either. So, but it's just like there's a conversation and a communication aspect that you need to make sure whomever's seeking this out or potentially doing this, that you need to elaborate. And that's why I want to have the conversation further with Corey. That way it's already just out there. And that way I just have a better understanding of where it's stemming from.
And where he sits on the spectrum.
Absolutely.
Because again, it's a whole other thing if you're just out and about. Let's say that you're, traveling, you're in, like Croatia at some like bathhouse, and you know, there's like some, 6'8", pink nipply, just nipply. Like, I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to paint a picture.
He said, right. It's like what I doing? Like that was that low key about to tell my business some more. That was Corey and I in Amsterdam. Literally, it was this Turkish guy with bright blue eyes sitting next to us at the Eagle, giving us the eye literally for like an hour. And finally, Corey and I were like, this motherfucker fine as hell. Everyone in this bar is looking at this dude, and he looking at us. What we about to do? Like, like, is this a missed opportunity? So literally, literally, we're like, okay, literally, honey, this literally top probably like five fine motherfuckers I've seen in person with my two eyes in my life. That both Corey and I were both like, this motherfucker's fine as hell. So we're like, okay, we're at the Eagle. It is what it is. You know how the Eagles are in a lot of places. And so they have locations where you could do what you need to do. Get things popping if it needs to. And literally half the bar followed us down to the location, and it spooked the guy. And the guy like scurried off, and we're like, fuck all you motherfuckers in here. That motherfucker was fine as hell.
He was ours.
Blocking our blessings.
He was blocking all our blessings. Oh my, I will like Corey just brought that up like recently for some reason. I forget why. But we're like, man, remember that hot Turkish dude in Amsterdam with the bright blue eyes? And it was just beefy and oh. Those are the moments though that you speak of that you just never know. And luckily at this point, I think we're both pretty secure in our relationship that in that moment we made a game time decision to try to move forward.
Come on, Audible. Come on.
And, and people cock blocked it, but it is what it is, and we were both okay. It wasn't anything like jealousy or anything.
It wasn't
like
one-sided.
Exactly.
Yeah, it wasn't one-sided and wasn't coming from a bad place. Like that's the kind of thing that like that I appreciate, when couples, partners, married people, whatever your relationship status is, when you understand what your boundaries are, because you've had a conversation about it. And when you make decisions, because that's really what a relationship is all about. It's like you're doing it together, and if you make a decision that you guys, you can play separately or you play together or you're monogamous, and that's like, you make those decisions together and you make those commitments together around what it's supposed to look like.
Absolutely.
And if the commitments need to change, then the commitments need to change.
Is that part? That's the thing. I think a lot of people are just still scared to change. Like Kerel at 37 is not the same Kerel that Corey met me at, however old I was, 28, 29 years old.
I blame Apple. It's Apple's fault.
It's all Apple.
But it was GarageBand. Too many, like, depending on the number of taps that you make on GarageBand, that ups your sexuality meters.
That part. But community continues to send your questions, and I guess I sent this one in. So Kerel, keep sending your questions in. But community, send your questions in aya@minoriteareport.com or DM us. And we need some new ones. Like, we need some new ones. Come on now, y'all.
Well, look,
y'all stingy
tell us
this
what y'all
year.
doing. I mean, listen, a lot of places are opening up, so I know that y'all need to open up too.
Right. So we want to know. And actually, I'm gonna use this as a teaser. Community, send us your Ask Your Aunties questions. Come on, we need some new shit. Come on. Thank you, boo. Thank you.
Yes.
So
can we just shout out real quick? Can we just shout out that Juneteenth is this week?
Absolutely. Thank you, because I was so forget. before I hopped, I was like, look, remind me. Thank you, Dawon.
Do y'all normally do something to celebrate Juneteenth?
I don't.
Not really.
And we're still in the middle of a pandemic.
Did y'all ever growing up like do anything to celebrate?
Girl, I grew up in Michigan.
Yeah.
They was like, oh, y'all ain't celebrating shit, Black. Like I kind of knew of it more than anything, but we didn't get the day off, so our ass was in school, and a lot of times, and at least where I grew up, a lot of the stuff was kind of almost still more focused on MLK Day. Let's celebrate the whole month of February and stuff like that. That by the time I got to Juneteenth, there wasn't too much going on. And even now there's way more going on here in Atlanta that I've lived here than anywhere I've lived, quite honestly.
Yeah. No, I just wonder, because growing up, like we always celebrated it. Like in Gary, there was always like a parade, a festival, or something along the lines. The church always did something. In Minneapolis, there was always a huge park festival. Maybe it wasn't always on actual Juneteenth, but either the weekend before, whatever weekend was close to the actual date, there was always like a big like street festival every single year. You know, you have the drum line coming in, you know, like hey, you know, they were clowning. You had your spoken word, you know, you had a pastor of one of the churches in North Minneapolis come through, and you had all these vendors and foods and jump houses and basketball pickup games, etc., like that. And
do you feel like it's celebrated more now than even then, though? Do you feel like it's picking up a little steam?
Honestly, I feel like it has not picked up more steam.
Gotcha.
Like, this was back in like the early 2000s, you know. I haven't seen a lot of these things happening around. I mean, last year I helped, you know, co-organize the march for All Black Lives Matters here in Seattle. And so we did that last year on Juneteenth. And then this year for Juneteenth, I'm helping co-organizing the Queer POC brunch. So we're going to start it again, and we're going to have that actual on Juneteenth.
Okay.
You know, but I mean, like, as I've gotten older, it's been way more important for me to make sure, like, on MLK Day, like, being part of the community, for Juneteenth, being part of the community, you know, Black History Month, being part of the community. And I don't know, like, I don't see a lot of these things happening in the school, which means our children, like those after us, aren't necessarily being taught this information. So I like to just make sure that we're creating these spaces and encouraging our youth to continue to pass these traditions on, because it matters. Like, we should be celebrating, you know, these moments for our people. So.
And for those that don't know what Juneteenth is, I'm going to just read it verbatim for you. But on June 19th, 1865, about 2 months after the Confederate General Robert E. Lee surrendered in Virginia, Gordon Granger, we don't care about their names, they were in the Confederacy. Oh no, actually Gordon Granger was a Union general. So okay, there we go. Arrived in Galveston, Texas to inform enslaved African Americans of their freedom and that the Civil War had ended. Which is fucked up because the Civil War had ended like 2 years before.
Right.
So they were still enslaved this whole entire fucking time. But so the holiday, so on that date, the holiday received its name by combining June and 19. The day is also sometimes called Juneteenth, Independence Day, Freedom Day, or Emancipation Day. So a lot of folks celebrate this as the day we were truly set free from slavery within the United States. So I just know in Atlanta and I think it's actually on Saturday this year. So
Saturday.
So
Saturday.
There's parades and shit going on. We'll see how hot it is. I might not be going to the parade, but I might be trying to find me a bite to eat at these Black restaurants.
You better make a reservation.
Yeah. You're right.
Gonna be lit.
You're right. Let me do that. Let me write that down now. Because you're right. But yeah, there's more energy here in Atlanta around it just because it's a black city, which is cool to feel. But even when I lived in Chicago, I would hear about stuff, especially on like the South Side, but it wasn't a big deal, unfortunately.
Y'all think they doing anything over at Progress for Juneteenth?
And so that brings us to Curiositea.
And back to you, Bob.
Right. So, community, we haven't done a Curiositea in a while. And so since it's a wig episode and, you know, it's just the three aunties today. And before we bring on guests, you know, in the next coming weeks again, I figured let's do a Pride version of Curiositea. And it's based around almost like stereotypical Pride songs that you know you're going to hear this month. And so it's going to be an either or. You got to pick one. So it's going to be either A or B. And some of these are going to be a little hard. They're anthems. Okay. They're classics. You can only choose one.
Are they our anthems or their anthems?
You know, here's the thing. I tried to do a mix. That way the community could play along too. And that way it was songs that like all three of us knew, because there might be some low-key little bops that I don't know if all three of us will know. So I tried to keep it as high level as possible.
That's cool.
So the first
all
one
these songs need to be added to the playlist too.
Absolutely. Every last one of them. There's a shit ton. I might not get through them all, but I'll add them all nonetheless. So the first one is You Make Me Feel by Sylvester versus It's Raining Men, the Weather Girls.
Oh, it's
Sylvester.
Sylvester. So we split. Okay, so
I ride hard for Sylvester. He needs his own biopic. Like he is a trailblazer. He is a phenomenal person, a trailblazer in this in the trans community. Although that wasn't a thing back then. Just the musicality is just you made me feel.
Oh, that's
come on now.
Okay, and so what?
Hold on, but the question was songs that you would hear.
Songs that you hear both. No, that you want to hear more than the other. So during your Pride month here, which one you rocking with hard? So Dawon, Sylvester.
Oh, I mean, I'm not really checking for either. But as far as what I would hear from other people, especially living in white ass Seattle, it's gonna be It's Raining Men.
Okay. Well, what would you rather hear though? What one would you rather hear?
The next
selection. You in the bathroom doing them two songs?
Girl, okay, look, this. I need a new drink. What
I was like, what you want? What you want?
Right, y'all want
Long Island iced tea.
Girl, honey,
you want to turn up?
The time traveler. That's what I call it now. The time traveler. This one was hard even when I wrote it out. I think You Make Me Feel edges it for me. Well, Martha Wash was singing their face off, and the homegirl, I forget her name. Also, they was singing. So, but there's something about You Make Me Feel about Sylvester that just
make me feel.
Yeah,
not a real. It's got that gospel undertones to it.
This show will do. All right, A Deeper Love by Aretha versus I'm Every Woman, either Whitney or Shaka, whichever version of that one you like.
There is a difference.
Okay, I'll give you Whitney. It's a newer version. We'll go there.
I think I'm going with Whitney. Okay. Because I just honestly, because I want to twirl. I just want to twirl. Look,
Shaka Khan.
Yeah, I feel like it edges out to me, although last weekend I literally listened to A Deeper Love by Aretha Franklin like 8 times.
It's a great song, but I agree, there's something about this I'm Every Woman, specifically the Whitney version. The Shaka version is great.
It's the Whitney.
It's very rare that the second version of a song beats the first one, and Whitney beat the first one.
And plus she was pregnant in the middle of it, and like it just
and she had that old Whitney. And it's funny, I look at these old Whitney videos and she had that old lady wig, and I thought she was an old lady when I was young, but realizing she was like 29.
She was going through.
Whoa. I'm like, okay, why you got that old lady wig on? All right, I Will Survive, Gloria Gaynor versus I'm Coming Out, Diana Ross.
Oh.
I know.
I think
I'm gonna say Diana Ross, because I'm tired of the I Will Survive, because I feel like it's been a karaoke killer.
Since day one.
Right. It's been murdered, not a killer. It's been murdered in karaoke for so long that I feel like it got all the longevity it needed out of that. So I'm down. I'm rocking with Diana.
Okay.
I think I'm doing the same. For some reason, I just can see myself like at brunch just singing, I'm coming out. Hey. And then you can't help to do the little side step, the little toe.
That's true.
That's true. I'm coming.
That says a lot.
Little step. Okay, I'm coming. Here we go.
I love you.
I love you.
Yeah. I'm coming out for me. Just the way that song starts alone.
Yes.
It's literally like a minute of just like the drum beat and then it builds up. Oh, and I mean, like, who's hot? Who's not? Tell me who rock? Who's still out in stores? Come on. I mean, even the updated version with Mason Diddy. Come on,
like
Kelly
at
Price.
The end of every like 90s rom-com too. Like every movie had that ending of it.
Mm-hmm. And that song is literally, it was a gay song from the get-go. Now Rogers, who wrote that, the way he sold it to Diana, because she's like, is this like a gay song? Like, what is going on? He's like, no, it's just like you're coming out into your own and things like that. But he came up with the idea at a drag bar in New York City, or maybe even like Studio 54, because he was just in that scene, even though he wasn't a gay man, he was an ally, and he wanted to give the gay community a song. But then when he sold it to Diana, he kind of twisted it so she would actually record it. So I'm like, that's a dope little history. Come on, Niall. All right, let's see here. Got to Be Real, Cheryl Lynn versus Don't Leave Me This Way, Thelma Houston.
Thelma.
Right?
What was the second song?
No. So, don't leave me this way. Oh, you don't know that one?
No.
Baby.
The look on his face.
Yeah, I know that song. Okay, that got me. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's the song. Oh, yes, absolutely.
Right, okay.
Yes. Okay.
And then Got to Be Real
is
too, though.
a slam. Is a slam.
Mm-hmm. But I never knew the name of that song.
But Thelma Houston has just
that's another song that gets me going. Honestly, I hear it, I'm like, oh yes.
Here's one I got to be gray on. During Pride, I like the Thelma Houston. Every other part of the year is the Cheryl Lynn, because Poor and I play that shit like on a weekly basis.
I can see that.
All right, so here's another one. Vogue by Madonna or Born This Way Gaga.
I'm going Vogue, Madonna.
I'm going old school because it's basically the same
There's
song.
There's something about how that opening of like the strings a little bit that it's so dramatic, and I just strike a pose. Like, bitch, you just get in the character every time you hear it. Like,
and then she does that little like staccato like faux rap at the end.
Right. Marlon Brando, whatever the hell she's saying.
Jimmy Dean on the cover of a magazine.
Right. I think it's Vogue for me as well.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What's another kind of random?
That was a good one.
Here? Dancing on My Own, Robyn.
Okay.
Or I Just Can't Get You Out of My Head, Kylie Minogue.
I think I'm going with Dancing on My Own. I specifically remember this song because I was at the saloon in 2009. And boy,
she really is. She turned 30 and now she tells stories like she's 82.
In 1982.
Picture it. Sicily. 1982.
But I was at the saloon and I was like talking with this dude all night. And then I saw him on the dance floor kissing this other dude. And I just remember Robyn coming on. I remember that song coming on. And I was just like, who is this girl? Because she's just singing my life right before my eyes right now. And I don't know. I just remember that.
That song reminds me of Big Chicks in Chicago. Like, they played the shit out that song when it came out. And it was
I got to see her. I got to see her in concert at Millennium Park and in Chicago, and like 2 months after a breakup.
Oh, girl, you was booing,
huh? I was crying. I was just like,
she was giving us the.
And I was good too.
Right over here.
And the killer part about it is, if you know that stage at Millennium Park, the amphitheater, like you face towards like east, west. You face west, and the apartment that we used to live was just to the right of the stadium. So I was like hearing the song, and I was getting my feelings. I'm looking over there, and I'm like, oh.
Oh, yeah, because you used to live in that wavy building, didn't you?
Yes. The Aqua, darling.
So Robyn just had everybody boo-hooing in Millennium Park.
And I ruined it for everybody else. I was there with a gang of people, and here I am just crying, and everybody's like, yeah. What in the world is wrong with you?
Look, they're dancing. You good,
I'm not a crier. I am not a crier,
funny. But you was that day when that song came on.
She got me. She got me all in the feels.
Oh Lord. Okay, let's see. What's another one here? Let's go with Formation Beyonce or Crazy in Love Beyonce.
Formation.
Still Formation.
It's Formation.
It's still Formation. Don't get me wrong. The beginning of Crazy in Love is a catwalk
right. every damn
instantly.
time.
You ready? Boom. And you look.
And then you know you're doing the
okay. But there's just something about that formation that you just like
it's the collard greens and cornbred.
Right.
Yeah, you know, like, come on now.
You right.
Yeah.
But you got that little dance like this.
Woo! Hey, yes.
Right. It's everything. Twirl on my haters.
Alligators.
Oh, see low and
chase
up. Again.
Look, as soon as you said formation, I was like, who is this bitch gonna put against her? Right. I'm glad you said only Beyonce, because there was no way it was gonna be anybody else. I was like, okay,
all
right.
No, it has Beyonce against Beyonce. Exactly. Hell no. I ain't that crazy. Okay, Make Me Feel, Janelle Monáe versus Level Up Ciara.
Level Up for me.
It's still Level Up.
It's Level Up for me.
It's Level Up.
Even though I love Make Me Feel.
It's this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is this. Level up. And then pull it down, girl.
Right. I know. And then here's the thing: people be sleeping on Ciara. Ciara got some damn hits. Every time I see Ciara song come, you're like, "Damn, this is a bop." Hold on.
Yeah.
She's not the best singer. We get it, but she's an entertainer,
a good performer, and
she'll give us a
songs
damn bop.
are good. The songs are good.
So is okay. Here's another one. I Want to Dance with Somebody, Whitney Houston. It's not right, but it's okay, Whitney Houston.
Yeah, exactly.
The credit card receipt.
Right. It has.
On the tour you had dinner.
You're right. It is a Friday night.
That's it. You are absolutely. You are absolutely right.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
I'm absolutely right.
Oh God, that tickled me so much. I love I Want to Dance with Somebody. That's such a cute and like lovely song, but shit, that other one got me together.
You feel like somebody grown auntie when that song come on.
That part,
like, and you get to like,
right.
And I think that's the first time you ever saw Whitney like personality wise break from like that pristine, like who would dare, even though she was with Bobby Brown, who would dare, do this? This was Whitney's was like was Beyonce's
Lemonade album.
Yes. It was like it was like Revelations. We're like,
she said, wait a minute now. 213 show up on your caller ID. Oh,
exactly.
Oh Jesus, too much for me.
That was a shock. That was a shock when that song came out.
Oh, it was brilliant, And Dark Child did that one. That was the Dark Child 99.
Yeah.
I will say I have a little confession. I do love, is it $1 Million Bill?
Oh, $1 Million Bill is everything, especially the club version.
Yeah. I love the club version of that.
Yeah, that's a bop. I almost put that on here. Just the I can't even hit it. I have no voice. But you know who wrote that song?
Ooh.
Alicia Keys.
Really?
You can hear her on the backgrounds. Yeah.
Wow.
The more you know.
All right, we'll do a few more here. 100% Pure Love, Crystal Waters versus Gypsy Woman, Crystal Waters.
Oh, y'all have to sing those songs for me. I don't know.
You know, 100%
pure love. Turn it back to the middle and around again.
Okay,
I'm gonna be there to the end.
But Crystal, the Gypsy Woman was like, I always want to sing the Living Color version.
Yes.
I be rich, you be poor.
Okay, for that alone, I gotta throw it to Gypsy.
I think I have to too.
I probably watch that video maybe 3 times a year. Like I specifically search it on YouTube to watch it.
It is so good. It's so good.
I've been standing on the corner and watching you see me. Oh yes, you see me.
Kim, shout out to Kim Wayans for that bullshit. That's so
hilarious.
funny. All right, we'll do. Let's do 2. We'll do. Oh damn, there's some good ones on here. Okay, Together Again, Janet, or All for You, Janet.
Together Again.
I'm gonna do All for You.
Ooh, got a nice package, all right.
Exactly. I think about her midriff. Like,
right. Her body was smashed. That whole album. Son of a gun body.
Sickening.
Honey.
Sickening.
But yeah, okay. Together Again or All
There's
for
something
You,
that's just
Janet.
so free spirit about Together.
Alexa, help us with the lyrics.
Never give up, baby.
Yeah, it's Together Again for me.
Yeah.
Even though I just love that Janet got away with a big ass #1 song saying you got a nice package, all right. Guess I'm gonna have to write it for you. Gotta have
write it tonight.
It's all for you. Keep me coming. She says, keep me coming, all for you. I'm like, how do you get away with this? In 2000.
Right.
Before the nipple. It was before the nipple.
Right.
It was before the nipple.
This was back in the butterfly bell bottom jeans and the belly chains and the tinted glasses, square glasses with the little butterfly on the side.
Yeah, she had, but the Together Again, she had the red hair and like the little, I don't even know what to call them, like the big Bantu
kind of. Like, Bantu or whatever.
I don't know what to call them. We'll do one that's a little more recent. Physical Dua Lipa, Levitating Dua Lipa.
I think it's Levitating.
I'm gonna say the same. I'm gonna say the same. Yes.
Yeah.
Levitating.
Yeah. I got you. Moonlight.
I think mine is Physical though. There's something about Physical that make me just want to like dance hard.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm a stan. I love her music. And
come out.
Oh my goodness.
Let's get physical. I mean, there's something about that song that make me want to sweat. And I'm like, okay, Dua, you don't got me,
Dua has come
bitch.
a long way since we seen her, Kerel.
A long ass way. And I'm mad that I didn't cut in line with y'all.
Wait, I don't think I know this story.
So we see Dua Lipa. So it's like right before like Dua Lipa's like really taking off. Like her song was like popping, but it was like right before she like is Dua Lipa. And so we see her here in 2017. We saw like Dua and Lizzo that same fucking weekend.
That was
we saw
off.
Bruno Mars. We saw Bruno Mars Saturday. Yeah.
That was great. But like we saw both Dua and Lizzo right before they took off. And people were standing already, which is crazy to think back. But anyway, so we see the concert, Dua. Like Nick is going crazy. He's like, "Oh, that's my hometown girl. That's my home country girl." Ow. And Jerrell's like, "Yeah, Nick got me on Dua. I'm like, "Who the fuck is Dua?" So I'm like, "Okay, this chick is dope. Like she can sing. She's pretty." So after, she's still not as well known yet. So she's like, "I'm gonna do a signing after." And so it was still a long line, but I was like, "Okay, I don't know who this Dua chick is. It was a dope concert. Is what it is." But Nick and Jerrell really wanted to go. So we're staying in line. Nick kind of like wanders and we're like far back in line. Nick kind of like wanders to the front a little bit. And then next thing you know, he's up there for a while. And Jerrell's like, what? Like, what's he doing? He's just standing there. And Jerrell's like, all right, I'm gonna go see what he's doing. So I'm like, all right, I'll hold our spot in line. And Jerrell goes up there. Then I'm like What they doing? They just still chill up there. These bitches done found a way to cut in line.
We saved us a good 90 minutes, okay? Good 90 minutes.
Well, here's my tall ass self. I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to cut in front of nobody.
And it was hot as fuck. It was hot as fuck that day. Ooh, we were hung over. Like, girl, we got there by the grace of God. That mac and cheese and pulled pork saved my life. Okay.
That's funny that you remember that.
Jesus. But yeah, so they cut in front of so many people, but got to meet them. And so like I stood up on the side, took pictures of them meeting her and all this stuff. But then literally fast forward like 2 months later, it was like dual
skyrocket
everywhere.
Yeah. Wow.
Everywhere.
That's
wild.
Cool.
Let's see here. We'll do one more. What do I want to end on? Okay, we'll do this.
Something that's gonna make us debate.
That's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be tough. There's a couple in here, but I'll do this one just because it's LGBTQIA plus person. Supermodels RuPaul or Sissy That Walk RuPaul?
Sissy That Walk for me. Well, wait a minute.
You better work, cover girl, working and do your thing.
I stand by that. Sissy That Walk.
Okay.
Sissy That Walk for me.
Sissy That Walk's the only one I know.
You don't know Supermodel? Damn, that might be the
girl.
That might be the generational thing.
But you also know I'm not a RuPaul girl.
That's true. That is true.
Not even
Damn, I should have chosen something else.
Yeah, we'll do another one there.
Okay, for me, it's Sissy That Walk as well. For me, what's another one that's gonna make us debate? We Found Love, Rihanna. Or Where Have You Been, Rihanna?
We found love. We found love.
I love me a dance break. It has to be Where You Been.
It's Where You Been for me.
And let me tell you, it's the coochie pat for me.
Right.
Okay. When she boxes her coochie and she pats and lean, I said, you better.
I know.
Come on, Lunchable. I'm gonna pack your lunch for you, bitch.
Seriously.
The coochie pat for me
as well.
Her face was beat. She gave you body.
She did.
She was dancing her ass off. But she came out that water like... yeah.
Cause I never see you.
Yeah.
It's Where Have You Been? That song is like Corey and I's first song together. Like that song reminds me of the summer we met.
Oh.
And so I have like some sentimental stuff to it, but it's just a bop and a half. Like it's the dance break for me and it's the coochie pat for me too.
I remember being at the saloon and seeing it. I was like, did she just pat her coochie?
So did.
I said, bitch, you better display. You hungry, baby?
Then you got Evelyn Lozada.
Lord Jesus, I don't know what that version was. I don't know what that one was. But all right, well, community, we'll put some of these. Yeah, put a little pride bops out there.
Yeah.
In community, we'll put these up on social media to see you guys chime in and debate and see which one's better. There's a few more, so maybe we'll do it a little later in the month as well. We still have a couple more.
Have to.
Maybe we'll guess next week.
Yeah, that'll be fun. But community, stay safe. Wash your hands, wash your legs, wash your ass. Get you a wig. Yes. We'll see you next week.
Bye, y'all.